A United Nations conference on the world's oceans wraps up today in France. Representatives from nearly 200 UN member states have been looking to find ways to reach consensus on ocean protection. Deutsche Welle correspondent Arthur Sullivan joins us now from Berlin. Hi there, Arthur. What's the significance of this event?
So this United Nations Ocean Conference taking place in the French city of Nice, it's aiming really to deal with a multitude of crises afflicting the world's oceans. It's brought together representatives of 200 or so UN nations to discuss the problems affecting what is arguably humanity's biggest shared resource, our oceans. Now, the oceans, as we all know, don't belong to countries or continents. They take up 70% of the Earth's surface, they feed billions of people, they sustain coastal communities, and most crucially, they regulate the global climate. But they are threatened like never before by a multitude of problems. So the biggest one is global warming. It's contributing to ocean heat waves. That's driving marine species to migrate. It's destroying coral reefs and it's damaging ecosystems. Then there's the other huge problem of plastic pollution. Now, plastic pollution is increasing. It's leading to plastic washing up all over the world. And of course, it's leading to microplastics entering our food supply via fish. Then there's the problem of overfishing itself, fish stocks all around the planet being depleted, further contributing to this vicious cycle afflicting our oceans. So that's some of the context in which this event is taking place. We've had leaders, not just representatives, but we've had leaders of more than 50 nations there attending. And in an era where multilateralism appears to be in retreat in many parts of the world and on many issues, it has been quite an achievement to get so many leaders together to discuss this major problem that affects us all on the planet. So that's the context in which this event is taking place.
OK, has any decisions been reached?
Well, one of the big aims really of this conference has been to try and get into place this agreement which was struck 2 years ago called the High Seas Treaty. So the issue there is that there's only currently around 1 to 3% of the world's oceans which are protected in some way from things, for example, like deep sea mining or for any other activities which may damage ecosystems and marine life. Now, at the moment, as I said, there's only 1 to 3%, but this High Seas Treaty would aim to get that up to 70%. Now, several countries have already ratified it, and in order for it to come into effect, it needs 60 to ratify it. Now, thankfully, this week, several more have actually, sped up that process and have ratified it, and I think 10 to 15 have said they will ratify it in the weeks and months after this. So French President Emmanuel Macron has said that that's a done deal, that it is effectively now going to come into effect, this High Seas Treaty. There also have been some agreements on establishing other protected areas. In fact, at the start of the week, the world's largest marine protected area was announced. That's covering a vast area near the islands of French Polynesia in the South Pacific. And there are also hopes that real progress has been made this week towards a plastic pollution treaty. And the hope is that that could now be reached perhaps by August or certainly before the year is out. But we do have to be cautious as well. Progress on regulating the world's oceans has been historically slow. No doubt later today we will hear a big announcement from the end of the conference, outlining plans and goals. But while these kind of events talk big, we know from past experience that action is far from guaranteed. And we also have to add the caveat that the US has not taken part in this conference as part of the Trump administration's ongoing climate skepticism. And countries that do not participate in these agreements are not automatically bound by them. And we really do have to bear that in mind when we consider the position of the US, that the agreements reached here are not necessarily going to perhaps have the impact that we would all like.
Arthur, thank you very much. Let's return to our top story, the Israeli strikes on Iranian facilities that happened earlier this morning. Lots of world reaction